Good evening, everyone. Today we will continue our story, The Twin Bandits Part 2. Okay, let's start and waste no time. Enjoy your time. Later that day, police detectives arrived at Peter Morgan's farm in Newra, a small railroad town in the rolling hills of southern Victoria, about 140 miles from Heathcote. While searching the property where Morgan lived with his wife and son, law enforcement found two Valiant automobiles, a motorbike, cans of black spray paint, a flashlight, a compass, a sleeping bag, and a variety of guns. They also found a beanie and a striped brown jumper, articles the After Dark Bandit was known to have worn during robberies. According to Breer, the most shocking piece of evidence was a black and white photograph. It showed Morgan in a posh restaurant, smiling, while seated beside another man. The two had matching shirts, matching mustaches, matching sideburns, and matching faces. Finally, it was clear to police how the bandit had managed to be in two places at once. Peter had an identical twin brother. Detective Breer called his partner, Beaver, and told him that the robber they'd been chasing wasn't one man but two. "Bullshit," Beaver answered. But it was true. And it meant that the After Dark Bandit, or the other half of him, was still at large. The inheritance. Understanding the Morgan twins' crime spree requires understanding their father. On December 15, 1949, a 19-year-old Kay Morgan carried a briefcase into the commercial bank in Eltham, a suburb of Melbourne known for its natural surroundings. Wearing a dark blue suit, gray felt hat, and sunglasses, the nervous teenager presented himself as a customer looking to open a new account, then drew a Browning pistol, according to newspaper reports. "The game is on!" he shouted. "I'll take the lot." The teller opened the money drawer. "Here it is," he said tauntingly. "Come and get it." Then the teller and the bank manager pulled pistols of their own from their pockets. Kay fired a shot that went straight through the counter and between the teller's legs, then another into the ceiling as he hurried from the bank. He ran to his getaway vehicle, a stolen gray Singer sports car parked across the street. The teller and the bank manager chased after him, firing 15 shots at the fleeing car and hitting it numerous times. Speeding out of Eltham, Kay crashed into an embankment a half-mile down the road, then escaped on foot into the bush. Following a large manhunt, police captured Kay, acting on a tip from one of his friends. "I am pleased you have caught me," Kay told them, according to a newspaper report. "I will tell you everything." He confessed to the failed robbery, admitting that he had attempted it to repay a loan to his father, a prominent real estate developer. His father refused to pay Kay's bail. Kay served nearly 3 years behind bars, then moved to the countryside and married a childhood friend named Beryl. On October 30, 1953, they had identical twins, Peter and Doug. The family relocated to Melbourne, where Kay thrived as a property developer, until a credit squeeze in the 1960s bankrupted him. To stay afloat, Kay may have resorted to shady business dealings that threatened to catch up with him, prompting an abrupt move to New Zealand when the twins were barely in their teens. Kay found work as a carpenter outside Wellington, the small, windy capital city at the mouth of the Cook Strait. But after offering to import a Holden sedan for his boss, then blowing the money at the racetrack, Kay returned to crime. He'd break into a post office at night, put the facility's safe on a trolley, wheel it out to his car, and speed off into the night. Kay rented a house where he'd use a cold chisel to open the safes, often while the twins were playing in the other room. In addition to money, they usually contained stamps, which Kay liked to sell back to the post office he'd robbed. He told the boys that whatever they needed to do to get ahead in life was okay, so long as no one got hurt. To disguise himself during his crimes, Kay wore fake glasses and used Brill cream to darken and slick back his hair. Sometimes he asked the boys if they wanted to come along to give him a hand. Doug always volunteered. The twins provided excellent cover. The police were less likely to pull over a vehicle with an adorable boy or two in the back, and doubled as lookouts. One night, when Doug was 12, Kay parked near a supermarket and told his son to keep an eye out. Doug watched his dad run toward the store, a silhouette in the moonlight. Kay robbed the market, so often he'd left a piece of roofing loose for easy access. Doug had just wiggled into the driver's seat. He thought it would feel cool to sit behind the wheel, when the market's alarm started blaring. He waited for what felt like an eternity. Then the driver's side door suddenly flung open, and his dad appeared out of the dark. "Move over," Kay said as he slid into the car. Father and son peeled away from the scene. Kay's criminal career meant that the family was constantly on the run. Over the course of their childhood, Peter and Doug lived in some 40 houses and attended 5 schools, where they were often enrolled under false names. In photos from back then, it's impossible to tell them apart. As early as infancy, their mom liked to dress her sons the same. They wore matching shoes and jumpers, and had matching hairstyles. The twins were often each other's only playmate. Indeed, the family's status as fugitives made them a tight unit. Doug considered them a gang of 4. But then Beryl became suspicious that Kay, charismatic and handsome, a cross between Steve McQueen and Paul Newman, in Peter's words, was seeing other women. One evening, during an especially heated argument, Beryl refused to let Kay take the car to rob a post office. Instead, he pushed a wheelbarrow to his target, planning to haul away the safe. The police showed up before he could clear out, and Kay was arrested, but not before the former boxer bashed one of them in the head with a crowbar. With Kay in custody, his 13-year-old twins were left to dispose of the evidence of his crimes. According to Peter, Beryl drove them to Kay's rental house, where they filled the family car with empty safes. Then she drove them to a nearby bridge where, one by one, in the pitch dark, they were tipped into the river below. In Doug's recollection, the brothers did this without their mother's help. After serving an 18-month prison sentence, Kay was deported back to Australia, and his family followed. Kay vowed to go straight and resume working in construction. The twins worked alongside him. He'd taken them out of school when they were 15 and trained them himself. The teenagers also worked briefly at a bank. Doug, who'd earned high marks in math while still in school, rose to become a teller, while Peter remained a junior employee. One Sunday morning in December 1971, 18-year-old Doug and Peter were relaxing at home when they heard a guttural scream from their parents' bedroom. They ran inside to find 41-year-old Kay lying on the bed with his arms in the air, as if reaching for the ceiling. Doug tried to lower them, while Peter watched from the edge of the bed as his father gasped for air. Someone called for help, and a nurse hurried over from a church across the street where she'd been attending service. When Doug checked on his father later that day, he found the nurse straightening Kay's legs and tightening the sheets around him. "He's okay?" Doug asked. "No," said the nurse. "He's dead."